Hello everyone, welcome to Amani's Lightwork Keys to Akasha section of my channel. If you are a new subscriber or you're visiting, welcome. It's great to have you here. Hope that you decide to stay. Okay, so before I begin with the case I'm going to be covering today, I just want to let you guys know that I started my tarot series on my Instagram page at AmaniEfe777. If you have an Instagram, please feel free to go over there and partake in the series. If you don't, I will post the same content that's on my Instagram, and I will put it in my YouTube community feed as well, so you have access to it. Feel free to share it with other people. The thing about it is that the tarot is multifaceted, anthropologically, scientifically, and metaphysically. Okay, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that each card of the major arcana and the minor arcana pretty much has a variety of divinatory correspondences, if that makes any sense. Okay, you can divinatory explanations or observances, however you want to put it. All right, heavily anthropological, heavily biological. I did include a bit of biological interpretations as well too, so you get a good idea of how these energies work, not only plain as you see it as I'm doing these videos, but how they attribute to each section of your body in each section of your brain. It's really great. I've been enjoying it, so please feel free to partake in it. If you have questions, comments, concerns, you know where to find me. Okay, so I am going to be doing a reading on Halyna Hutchins, but she went by Halyna Hutchins. Okay, she was a cinematographer working with Alec Baldwin on a film in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now, I've been in New Mexico. I've been to Farmington, New Mexico. Really great place. I recommend you guys go if you've never been. And there's this area called the Four Corners, where there's a few natives there, mainly Navajo natives, and they have the Four Corners, and then they also have jewelry like turquoise. They have spears, they have crystals, pretty much a plethora of things that you can choose from if you want something that is holistic and based in Native American culture. Very beautiful place. Okay, but let me go into the reading. And another thing to keep in mind, that everything is based on interpretation. I wasn't there, so I always make sure I tell people that. Sometimes I forget to say that at the beginning of the reading. Mediumship could be a hit or miss in terms of interpretation, but I try to channel and pick up energy as smoothly and concisely as possible. Okay? All right, let's see. I most likely I want to kind of zero in on the passing of her only for this reading, and then I will, in another video, I'll look at Alec Baldwin's case. All right. I'm getting this idea that I don't know what this is. Like, I had enough of it. I don't know if she said that, or I don't know if she said that. I'm kind of, I'm going to try to do this in chronological order. So when I say chronological order, I'm talking about the days, possibly weeks and months leading up to her passing, if that makes any sense. Okay, so the had enough of it could have something to do, I don't know if this is related to the work she was doing, or like the industry, something about, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like her marriage or like her circumstances, something that she was dealing with that may have been private in nature, she had enough of, and whatever that means. So that could be connotated to her, or that's a thought process someone external from her had. I don't know, whatever that means. Okay. Now, I don't have her birthday, and I don't really see the necessity in terms of why they need to not include her birthday. So, for example, if a queen shows up in the deck, I'm going to use that as either someone external, or I may try to divert and use that as the embodiment of her as well. Okay. High priestess energy is underneath, all right? So when we see the high priestess, we know that, she was using her intuition. If it was the moon, it would have been something that she would have been needing to see. But it's the high priestess, which means that she may have been using her intuition for a while about something. The spirit has given me the idea of a contract. Like she may have been using her intuition about a contract that she was in with Alec Baldwin, or like, his film, what would you call it? His manager, possibly, her own manager would deem her to have her own manager. I don't know if the husband was involved in her private affairs or her work to that extent, but we'll find out and see what's going on. Something is going on, or I should say was. It still can be happening. Something was going on here with her with tax distribution. Okay, so tax distribution would mean that something either was or was not taxable, or it wasn't taxed. And then there's another situation, the tax distribution also has something to do with being unfairly taxed or not getting any taxes at all, if that makes any sense. So high priestess, with the energy I was picking up before I put any cards down, is that she may have been using her intuition that I had enough could be related to some type of unfair tax distribution or being unfairly taxed, if that makes any sense. So that could be a company or agency she was working with directly, either by herself, like like an independent contractor, or something that she was doing with Alec Baldwin and his company or his agents. It just depends on what's going on with the high priestess, right? The high priestess is here because I'm getting the idea of not getting something back. Okay, not getting something back in terms of compensation, not getting something back, especially if somebody's going to be unfairly taxed. That basically means that it's like you're paying taxes. Okay, you're paying the taxes that you're getting. You basically need to then pay that. Okay, money that you're getting from taxes, you're basically using that same money to go pay the taxes off. Or like something that she had going on was being taxed, and that may have caused a problem for her because she may have been told, we're not going to tax this, or it's not taxable, so you can't file for this, or you can't claim that. It just depends on what's going on. So I feel like it feels heavily financial. It feels like she could have been involved. Like there's this issue with tax distribution, or either she being unfairly taxed or not taxed at all, or not being able to file or claim. It just depends on what's going on. Okay. Starting point has the Princess of Discs. So the Princess of Discs is a princess. So it could be someone that was younger than her. Could also be someone like, I don't know if this is, I know they said she had a son. I don't know if she had any other kids necessarily, but they could be like a co-star. Princess of Discs could be like a child, younger person, someone that's younger than her. Okay, if they're a co-star, or if they're like on set, then I think they know everything that happened. Like they know everything that happened, or they know why it happened. But they're Capricorn, they're Taurus, they're Virgo element. That's, they're a child, or they're a younger person that they just have details on what was going on set, or they have details of I also get whereabouts, like her whereabouts or this person's whereabouts, if that makes any sense. Okay, their whereabouts would be their whereabouts is having something to do with the fact that they were either on or offset, if that makes any sense, or they were giving her communication at one point, and the communication that they may have been giving her may have been limited. Or I also get forthcoming. They may not have been forthcoming with her. I don't know if she wasn't forthcoming with this person. It's bringing me back to the idea of distribution. It was not only distribution, it could be like distribution in terms of like compensation, or distribution. What's another way to describe this distribution? Distribution, like paperwork, distributing tools, distributing a license. I don't know what's another way to describe it. Distributing is like you're giving people, compensation. You're claiming, you're filing, you're giving people their paperwork. There's reception in between her and another individual. So I don't know if something has happened between this person receiving something that she was supposed to receive, or vice versa. It just depends on what's going on. Something like that. So it's like the issue with the taxes, or like the distribution of taxes, could have something to do with this individual. Like I don't know, she could be embodying this, and that's the issue. Or this energy is somebody that's separate, like her being somewhere. Oh, I see what's going on. Say, for example, she's embodying Princess of Dis energy. If this isn't a person, say she's embodying Princess of Dis energy. The tax distribution has something with her being present or absent on set, if that makes any sense. Present or absent, all right? So, for example, say I don't go to work. Say I don't go to work for like 2 or 3 weeks, or I take off 2 and 3 weeks, then my absence then cuts into the amount of taxes that gets taken out, the amount of taxes that I get put in. So that definitely has something to do with being absent and present. I mean, that's typically, I mean, if somebody doesn't work a whole entire year, they're not going to get anything to file. She probably wasn't going to get anything to file or claim, if that makes any sense. Or that's this energy, they're external, and a complaint. If they're an external person, then they may have been complaining about that. Or if she's embodying this, she may have been complaining about that. Like, how are you going to take this out of how are you going to tax this? How are you going to take these taxes out of here? I wasn't even here on this day. I wasn't here that week. I wasn't there last month in this particular time frame. So I do feel like she definitely got into some type of dispute pertaining to, I also get like the idea of a lawyer, or like a financial advisor, like an accountant of some kind. I do feel like she was butting heads with someone there. Like, how are you going to take taxes out of this? I wasn't even working on this show at the time. I wasn't even working on this, what's another situation? I wasn't even filming this on this day. So how is this being taxed? Or how can I not file taxes on this? How can I not claim this? This is my work. This is what I did. So I feel like it's heavily financial, that she had something going on like that. So that could have been happening for months and weeks prior to her passing. Okay, the waiting position has the Four of Swords energy. All right, so the Four of Swords would be like depression. Four of Swords could also be that, that mental introspective feeling. I also get this idea of getting out of a business deal is why the Four of Swords energy is here. Like, what happened with her financially, and the distribution of her compensation. The distribution of her compensation is like, I keep getting this unfair. The spirit is telling me something was unfair about the distribution of her compensation. Like, it's a princess of this energy would be this the energy of a job. If she's not only embodying this and they're not someone that's external. Like, where's my compensation? I thought I was going to get compensated for this. I thought I wasn't going to be taxed for that. I wasn't present. I was absent. I was present. I was here. I was not. You know, Four of Swords. Unfair. Like, something was unfair about her pay. Something was unfair about it. It's either something was unfair about her pay, or something was unfair tax distribution wise about her pay or about her business. Something happened there that was strange. So she's having like meetings with accountants, possibly lawyers, possibly. But I get confused. So if she ended up going to go communicate with those people, set up meetings to go meet with them, they end up being really confused for some reason. All right? They end up being confused. They were confused. I also get this idea of taking a portion. I don't know if she took a portion of somebody else's compensation, or a lawyer or an accountant could have taken a portion of it. But I get promised. So a lawyer or like an accountant may have been promised some percentage of her compensation. Something like that, or something that's tax related about something that an accountant is going to receive, or they were receiving, or a lawyer is going to receive, right? It's drawing me to Alec. Now, when I said a lawyer, something may be going on compensation wise with Alec Baldwin's lawyer, not only hers. I don't know if they, the lawyers were in cahoots with each other. I would deem her to have her separate lawyer. If Alec Baldwin's lawyer that is overseeing this case, if I get a bonus, they're receiving some type of interesting bonus, or there's something's going on with her, something happened with her compensation in Alec Baldwin's lawyer. So I don't know if Alec Baldwin's lawyer had control over what was being distributed to her company, or what was being distributed to her directly. Something happened there with the lawyer. So something could have happened directly with her own lawyer, her own agent, her own accountant, or something's going on with Alec Baldwin's agent, accountant, lawyer. Something, if they're receiving something for Swords energy. And that could have been something that she found out. I don't know if that's why the High Priestess is underneath. I don't know if she was investigating this herself. She could have been in a situation where she's looking at her paperwork. This is strange. Four Swords. This is strange. What's going on with my taxes? What's going on with my claims? What's going on with the distribution of my compensation? What's going on with my pay? Why does this look like this? Right? I do feel like she had this feeling where, why does my stuff look like this? Why does it look like this? So what's happening is that Four Swords, she may have been investigating. She started investigating, and the investigation is either she's going directly to her own lawyer to complain and voice her findings, or I also get inclinations, like she had inclinations of something that was going on. She definitely did. So she's going to an accountant, or she's her own accountant or her own lawyer, to express those inclinations to them. I think something's going on. I think I'm being unfairly paid. I think I'm being unfairly taxed. I think somebody's taking my compensation. Whatever it is. Well, the person has a Three of Swords, right? I don't know if she had air on her chart. There's a lot of air here. Three of Swords energy is pretty much may reside with what I just explained. Compensation, distribution, taxes, claiming, being absent, being present. The being absent and being present is literal. It can also be psychological. Someone may not have been I get a lawyer. Someone's going on with a lawyer mentally. Like something's going on mentally with a lawyer or an accountant. They may not have been mentally present, if that makes any sense. Like you could be physically present, but somebody may not have been mentally present, if that makes any sense. Mentally present. Mentally. Okay? You could be physically somewhere. Alright? So I don't know if that's something I don't know. I get this feeling that she may have had to deal with something like that, or somebody could have put out a claim. Okay, I understand. Somebody could either have observed her that way, like somebody could have deemed her to be physically present but not mentally present in a situation. So I get winning one over. So if somebody observed her to be that way, it's because it has something to do with them winning one over on her. I get documentation that they were winning one over on her in terms of her documentation, or in terms of the distribution of her documentation, or the compensation that's for the documentation related to the compensation. Somebody was deeming her to not be present mentally, but she was there physically, which means that if someone isn't present mentally, that means that they're not seeing what's happening around them, or I always get fine print or detail. They're not paying attention to fine print or detail. So I don't know if that's something that's going on with her. That could be something that is going on with the Princess of Disc, or she's embodying this and somebody observed her to be like that for some reason. Like somebody observed her, there's the Four of Swords with Three of Swords. It has something to do with how she handled her own paperwork. All the swords may have something to do with online communication, or sending something in, filling out forms and things of that nature online, right? Somebody did co-sign that, so whatever she was doing online with signatures and paperwork and documentation online for this specific job or whatever other gig that she had running. But somebody could have stolen that too. Somebody could have taken a copy of that. They could have distributed a copy of that pertaining to the film that she was recently working on, or something that she was doing before the film. Like, I get throughout her career that something like that could have been happening throughout her whole career, where she is filling out her paperwork online, or just filling out paperwork period, and somebody's co-signing it. So either she was aware that somebody co-signed, or she's not aware that they co-signed. She's not aware they co-signed, or she didn't read the fine print of some type of paperwork. So because she didn't read the fine print of the paperwork, or she didn't double check, she didn't look back on the paperwork, somebody literally was watching everything that she was doing. Yes, that's one element about this. And then another element is that they were watching her so that they could reap some type of benefit from, I keep getting distribution. They wanted to reap some type of benefit from some type of distribution. So whatever she was hoping to be distributed to her, it's not going to her. I got a lawyer. It's not going to her. It's going to somebody's lawyer. Her lawyer, or Alec Baldwin's lawyer, somebody else's lawyer. I don't know if there's something going on with the husband and things that, I'm not picking up the husband or anything like that, but I don't know if she shared a lawyer with the husband. I don't know if that was, I also get the idea of a divorce. I don't know if she was in the process of divorcing her husband, or vice versa. And then something's going on there lawyer-wise with a husband. So she could have been in the middle of divorcing her husband, or getting a divorce, or she had already gotten a divorce, right? Something about that was conflicting with her work and the tax distribution from her separate jobs. So paperwork that she's looking for, or something that the spirit is saying she's being unfairly taxed for, it is compensation, but it's for a lawyer, or it's to I also get balance. It's for balance. Could be it was for financial balance, somebody else's financial balance, or her own financial balance, right? But it definitely has a lot to do with some type of separation that she either was going to do, or I don't know if she was separated already, that she was going to do with her husband, or the husband was trying to do. Hence the reason for the documentation. I guess I get watching everything that she was doing. They were watching everything that she was doing on the computer or with paperwork, and they managed to be calculated with her moves and what she was doing with her paperwork from her jobs and her gigs, tax distribution wise, compensation wise. I'll Give you a really interesting example of this. I'm trying to make sense of it. she's a filmmaker, right? She may have been freelance, or she could have been an independent contractor, right? So what's happening with that is that as an independent okay, I don't know if she had an LLC. She may have had LLC. She may have had her own, business patent, I should say. Okay, her own patent. And there's this issue with her. There's this interesting. I also get this idea of skepticism. I don't know if somebody was skeptical of her being an independent contractor, a freelancer. Like, somebody was skeptical of that. Like, I don't know if her husband was worried about that, or a lawyer accountant was worried about that. Because this is, oh man. Wait a minute. I need to take my time with this. If she's an independent contractor, she's coming into the industry with Al Baldwin and whoever. She's external. Right? I'm trying to make sense of it. She's external. What she's doing tax-wise, if she did anything tax-wise, external as an independent contractor, she's coming in. So someone is trying to create that someone is trying to create that documentation for her so that she could get certain things done, but she's independent, which means that whatever she has separately tax-wise for herself conflicts with the contract of the industry that Alec Baldwin is doing, what she ended up doing with him. It conflicts. The documentation is going to clash, right? Because she's a cinematographer on her own. She's not an industry, she wasn't an industry appointed cinematographer. She's a cinematographer built on her own skill. She's separate. What she has going on would be separate, tax separate, distribution compensation separate. But she's then making herself not separate anymore, and they're trying to do a tax tie with what she has going on as an independent contractor along with the industries. And that's where something is conflicting. That's where people are trying to get the taxes. And that's where people are trying to claim and unclaim. Whatever it is, and there's compensation that someone is receiving in regards to her because she signed a contract. She could still be considered she would have been still be considered independent, but since she's doing this join, it kind of conflicts with how she receives her compensation. It conflicts with the documentation and the taxes. Heavily conflicting. That's like, that's like intellectual property. I get sold. Intellectual property that she had may have been sold. Somebody could be on the verge of selling it, or somebody was sold it, or whatever it is. Intellectual property vulnerable. Her intellectual property would be considered vulnerable because she is coming from the outside in meaning the industry. Oh, Jesus. That's why you gotta really, copyright things. I mean, not copyright. Yes, copyright, but like patenting her things is, whatever it is, it would be important. The Princess of Wands energy. I almost said enemy. Somebody may have been an enemy here. The Dancer, the Princess of Wands, is in the future. Princess of Wands, younger, somebody co-starring, somebody could have been an actress. That's why I said somebody here, like these elements, if she's not only embodying these energies, then they're the energy of like actors. Like they're women that were also like on set, working on set, or they were like in the film, right? There's tax distribution going on with them too. That was hers, or they were given that. I don't know, something's weird there. The Instincts has the Six of Pentacles, the Success card. So the Six of Pentacles and the Instincts, Six of Pentacles would be charity. Six of Pentacles is compensation. Somebody, or she herself, I also get win. This compensation, the Six of Pentacles is like a winning card for some type of compensation that she was looking out for. She may have been looking out for, or this energy, it ended up winning, whatever that means. Like this person is winning something. So this kind of feels like this may be like a court situation. I don't know if she attended court at some point. She could have been in court at some point for something here. This gave me an idea of winning compensation, not being being given it or finding out what's going on with it, number one, and then needing to go to court or talk to someone, needing to file a claim, needing to do something like that. And then winning, she could have been winning, or this person is external, they were winning something from her, or they were winning in terms of a claim she tried to put in. Or her energy is that she may have been, that's why I was getting the idea of getting something back. She was on the verge of getting something back, compensation wise, getting something back, right? I do get this feeling like somebody could have went to jail, or someone could have been, someone could have gotten locked up temporarily for something fraudulent. Someone could have gotten, I don't know if that's her or somebody external. Like, I feel like someone she was dealing with that was involved with her things invasively may have been on the verge of getting like locked up temporarily or something like that for fraud, like something like tax fraud. Like a tax fraud, could be insurance fraud, not insurance fraud. I mean, yes, she would have her own insurance. I don't feel insurance heavily. It feels like tax fraud. Like it feels like some type of fraudulent action going on with either tax fraud, some type of like insurance fraud possibly, or tax fraud. Tax fraud with the distribution, compensation distribution, like something fraudulent. But the spirit said win. So the Six of Pentacles and her instincts is that she was winning something back that was taken. She was getting some type of money back that was taken, or someone was trying to take, or somebody else was winning something. But I feel like this would have been her energy. I feel like she may have been on the verge of winning some type of, or just getting some type of money back, period. Right? The Four of Swords, I get this feeling someone didn't want her to get some type of, it could have been a large amount of money of a situation that she may have been unfairly taxed for, or that she was paying for, or that she wasn't getting due to some type of wrongful distribution. It may have been a large amount of money that I think she was due. She was due a large amount of money. This feels like it's deep rooted. Like I don't feel like this is only this is not only this film that she's working on. This is like these are prior gigs that she had inclinations about, that they're building up and they're leading, you know what I mean? They're kind of like leading up to the demise, because of the fraudulent behavior that I don't see it for years. There was fraudulent behavior surrounding her independent contract situation, intertwined with these agencies, right? Her being an independent contractor is intertwined with the agency. She's finding out what's going on with the compensation or the taxes, right? She's finding out what's going on with that. And her finding out, that's why the lawyer and accountant and these people are confused. She's telling them she's putting the claim. She may have been on the verge of suing somebody. You know what I mean? She could have been on the verge of suing someone. Somebody getting sued around her would mean that they would be bumped all the way down to poverty level. They would have been bumped all the way down to poverty level. So she putting in a claim or some type of complaint is that she may have been due a large amount of money. She was due a large amount of money in the instincts. Wow. The because she's finding out who's receiving her compensation. She's finding out what's going on with the tax paper. She's finding out what's going on with the contract and who signed, who took the document, who has this, whatever it is. The Nine of Wands energy is in the accomplishment. Nine of Wands kind of brings in the energy of like Alec Baldwin is an Aries. So she could have just been dealing with any other fire signs around her, but it's a Nine of Wands, which means that Nine of Wands is court. Like, I kind of see Nine of Wands to be defense attorneys and things of that nature. Court. This, like I said, this energy could have been another co-star. They could have been on set. That she could have been on the verge of taking this person to court or taking them. I would have lost everything. They would have lost everything. She either would have lost everything, or this energy, if they're external, they would have lost everything. They would have lost everything. Because of some nonsense that they decided to do. Nine of Wands. So she could have been on the verge of taking somebody to court here. Or she could have already done that. And she was winning. Or she was going to win. That's the prediction. She was going to win. Or they were going to win. Somebody was going to win. So I don't know. This could be taking place. Part of this could be taking place now. But I get this idea of someone going to her husband. Like something may go to her husband, her child. Someone's going to go. I don't know if the husband or child had like another woman or a man attached to them. I mean, my bad. I didn't mean to say man. Well, yeah, man. Another like someone that the husband could have been dating on the side or dealing with on the side. Or it's like a co-star. Someone that was on set. You know, I get messing with her things as I ran through all of that. There's elements there. They were messing with her things. They were messing with her documentation. She was trying to take somebody to court. The Nine of Wands kind of gives me this idea of night. And I'm looking at this, like something is late. Somebody could have been doing somebody around her could have been doing something late at night. Whatever that means, like late. Or like while she wasn't somewhere. But it's giving me this idea like a heavy watchful eye. I don't know if she was stalked. Like, I don't know if somebody was stalking her, literally. I'm being drawn to the husband. Like, I feel like, I don't know if the husband had, like another woman attached to him. Or, I don't know if the husband was dealing with a co-star that was in the set. Or it's like, it could have been like an actress. Or it's like, who is it? Who else could it be? It's either an actress, someone who was working on set, or someone the husband was dealing with. Someone the husband was dealing with, like a woman that's younger than her, like a side woman or something like that, you know, and she could have found out something there, because if she's married, what she has going on is tied to her husband, you know, she's married, she's got things tied, she's got documentation and money tied to the husband, you know. Somebody working on set found out a way. I didn't communicate with husband. Someone on set found out a way to communicate with her husband. If they're not someone, that would be dealing with the husband. They found a way to communicate with the husband. They found a way to do so. You know, Nine of Wands. They communicated with the husband. I had compensation. I want her compensation, or I want a percentage of her compensation. That's someone that was on some set. If it's not only Alec Baldwin, if it's not only that New Mexico set, then it happened in a previous gig, or kind of like accumulated. Like I feel like this is happening for a while with someone that was secretly communicating with her husband, or they're on set of a gig that she was working on, and they're communicating with the husband about her compensation and taxes, and how to get to the documentation, how to claim, how to distribute, how to take percentage. Nine of Wands, right? There could have been a camera involved here as well. I don't know if like a surveillance camera of some kind. You know what I mean? There could have been 4 swords and 3 of swords. It kind of like all this metal in here, steel, kind of gives me the idea of like cameras or electromagnetic and radiation coming from cameras. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like a camera was present. Yes, a camera was present because, you know, she would have been on set. But I also get around home. Like, she could have had cameras around her home. Wherever she was going, like a lawyer's office, an accountant's office, or wherever she traveled to, wherever she was daily, home. There were cameras. And she could have taken the camera footage. High Priestess, she was using her intuition that someone either creeping with husband, or creeping around home, or creeping with husband as in like communicating with husband, communicating with someone on set, communicating with lawyer, communicating with someone around her. That's why the High Priestess energy is underneath. Like she's like, I felt like someone was watching me. Well, she could have been feeling that. I felt like somebody was watching me. I felt like I was at the bank. I felt like someone was watching me while I was going to the bank. Something strange could have happened to her in the bank, like with someone, like either stalking wise, or when she asked for something. So if she took a bank trip one day, or an accountant she went to, or a lawyer, somebody, it has something to do with like how she asks for something. Or how someone asks for something, if that makes any sense. Someone asked her for something and it gave off a weird vibe. So it could have been a princess of this, or she asked someone for something and that's what I was getting the idea of forthcoming, either being forthcoming or not forthcoming with some type of information about something. So she could have been asking the question, or someone external could have been asking her a question. And I got struck a nerve. Somebody asked her an interesting question, and it struck a nerve. Like it struck a nerve. It struck a nerve. This kind of looks like these kind of give me this feeling of body as well. Like these look like nerves in the body, like tension. Look at that blood that's there, like tension and nerves. Somebody was working her nerve. Somebody was working her nerve that was on set of where she was, or they were communicating with the husband. I don't know if they were communicating with the son. I don't know the sun's sign. I don't know if somebody was talking to her son or trying to be friendly with her son. You know what I mean? Something strange. Like it's weird. Like there's weird interactions that she experienced. Right? So if I look at these dates here, she passed in October. The 6th could have been June. She could have been doing something compensation wise, trying to fix something there in June. Then the 9 will be September. Like something that she could have been doing something recently, like September, like whatever she was doing. Something happened in September with a lawyer. Something going to happen with a lawyer in September. It's kind of giving me the idea of court. This looks like court to me here. This looks like court. So I feel like she could have been in communication with someone to take someone to court in September. So she could have already gotten a chance to do that with a Princess of this, or she's embodying Princess of this, or there's a Princess of Wands in the future. I'm going to get there. It could be them. This woman, it feels like there's two women here. I get using her information. There's two women here that they were using her information. One of them was trying to be in communication with the husband. One of them was in communication with the husband. So they're either like, I got a mutual friend. One of them is like a mutual friend to the husband, or both of them are like a mutual friend to the husband and her. Somebody's a mutual friend here. Right? Mutual friends could also be someone that she's working with on sets with an S, or doing her own work, sets with an S, right? And they're still mutual, like they're still communicating with the husband, or they're communicating with someone that like she knew on set, if that makes any sense. They're trying to obtain documentation. I do get this idea that someone, this is why I'm getting that feeling of the question, someone may have been asking her where she was going to be working next. I kind of get that idea. Where are you going to be at next? You know, where, you know what I mean? Like one of these women, one of them was like, where are you working at? Where are you going to be working or filming next? What is your next project? What is your next project? Someone was asking her that. Someone asked her that. And the High Priestess underneath is that she was or was not using her intuition that the reason why somebody was being that friendly and they try to come off like they were genuinely interested in where she was going to be working at, they want money, they want tax, they want to use her information. That's why they're coming out of nowhere and they're cryptic. They're coming out of nowhere, they're being cryptic, they're asking her questions about her next projects. So I was getting that idea of being invasive. So that could have been happening directly to the husband. That was directly happening to her with these women. These two elements are shown up here like two women that were using her information or inquiring about her information indirectly or directly. Wow, jeez. Her spiritual self has the Emperor, right? There's Alec Baldwin. This is an Aries, Taurus men. 4 swords next to them. You know, I do feel like they were asked questions. I do get this idea of being set up as well. So the externally, they could be, something is going on with his career. Like if this is Alec Baldwin's energy, something is going on with his career. Or now, you know, people are like, what's going on with his career because of what happened and him being, criminal charges and things of that nature. So she could have been thinking, that, what's the situation? She could have been thinking that he'll get arrested and things of that nature, or he'll do, or somebody may have been thinking that he was going to do some jail time and things of that nature. It just depends on the energy that is coming through. I do feel like he was asked a lot of questions, like him being asked a lot of questions could be currently, now he's being asked a lot of questions, or like before that happened to her, he was asked a lot of questions. Like he was asked a lot of questions about her compensation. He was asked a lot of questions about her I was get props. He was asked questions about props, like the props on the film, like on set. He was asked about them. So I don't know if she asked him. She could have been asking him about the props. But I always get where to put. So I do get this idea of where to put the props. Like where to put them, if that makes any sense. Where to put them. Where to put the props. So he could have been asking her that. She could have been asking him that. Or, I see what's happening here. I see what's happening. This is crazy. You will not believe what I'm about to say. Alright. This is really crazy. This is really crazy. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. He didn't know. Like, he really didn't know that it was real. The gun was real. That's why he's asking her, where's the props? Because where's the props? This is crazy. Oh man, this is crazy. It's crazy. He doesn't have anything to do with what she had. He doesn't have anything to do with. And yes, it was accidental, but there was a real gun amongst fake ones, if that makes any sense. There were real guns among fake ones, and I do kind of get. I'm looking at this card right here, like the target. Yes, she was a target, but it's like I feel like there were real guns amongst fake ones, and I'm getting this feeling like one of them had, I don't know what the color is, one of them had like, there's a lot of blue in this card, one of them had like a blue sticker on it, one of them had like a blue sticker on it or something, if that makes any sense. One of them had like a blue or green, like, okay, how do I explain this? Okay, there's a real gun amongst fake ones, but some of them have like stickers on them so that people know which one to use, if that makes any sense. Like so that people know which one to use. So I don't know, this kind of feels like he picked up or he was handed, I see what's going on. He was handed one by someone, and that person actually accidentally, I get brought one. Someone brought one. Like somebody brought a gun. and they mixed it in with the fake ones. Like somebody brought a gun and they mixed it in with, like, I mean, there's guns that you can use on set that are okay, that'll just, like, they'll just pop, like they'll probably like pop out like a paint gun or something like that. But somebody brought one. Somebody could have brought one and said, okay, this is the one that you're going to use, right? I'm being drawn to the Princess of Discs. So the Princess of Discs, or a Princess of Wands, somebody that was on set handed him a gun and said, okay, this is the one you're going to use. This is the one that you're going to use. So that's why there's confusion. That's why there's confusion over here. That's why I would say confused. He was confused. Four of Swords resides with him. This is how he's feeling. He's very confused. Because he's like, wait a minute, huh? How is this real? How is this real? Why is this coming out like this? Why is this coming out? Somebody handed it to him, but it was brought. Like, somebody brought it and mixed it in with the set guns. Princess of Discs or the Princess of Wands. Two women that were using her information, that wanted compensation. She was maybe on the verge of taking somebody to court to get the compensation back. They brought one. I don't know if somebody brought one from home. Look at the Princess of Wands energy in the future. Someone could have brought one from home. Like, somebody could have had the license to have their own gun. Someone had a license to have their own gun, their own firearm. And they brought it and gave it, like, it may look similar to the prop ones. Like, it looks similar to the prop guns. Or something about it is similar. Like, there could have been a real bullet inside of one of those things. There could have been a real bullet in there. But they handed it to him. Hey, use this. They handed it to him and said, use this one. Use this one. So somebody either, one of these energies, one of these women, I get mixed in. One of these women, they mixed it in with prop guns. So it could have been an actual prop gun that had a real bullet inside, or had something inside, whatever it is they can do. Or somebody brought one and mixed it in with the fake ones and then handed it to him and is going off on her, and he's like confused. He's confused. He's confused. Nine of Wands. Next to them. She's shot. He's then going to this person or the Princess of Wands, and what did you do? What the hell did you do? What the hell did you give me? What the hell did you give me? The Emperor. Damn. That is real slit and it's real crazy. She's on the verge of getting some type of compensation back. Queen of Wands, public defender, could be somebody's lawyer, right? Or somebody on set, Queen of Wands. I don't know if she could be embodying that too. Or as an external Queen of Wands would be Aries, a Leo, or Sag, just a female. I do feel, like I said, there's two women here. This could be another woman here. This, I feel like, I don't know, this is someone that's in her mentality. So I do feel like, we're going to help. Like, this energy could have been someone that was going to help her would get some type of compensation back. With the Queen of Wands in the mentality. With the Queen of Wands in the mentality. Right? They don't understand, like, they don't understand what happened, or they're confused as to how a real firearm got on set. There was a real firearm on the set. Somebody mixed it in with props and gave him the thing. So his role, as the camera's rolling, his role is to, I don't know how it went down with, I don't know if he was told, you gotta pull that, or you gotta, press this. But it's like, they could have been practicing, or whatever it was, but it was real. But if somebody handed it to him and said, okay, this is what you're gonna do at this point, and it goes off on the woman. It goes off on the woman. It's going off on the woman. How the hell? Queen of Wands. So they're confused. Like, there may be a lawsuit as well intertwined here. There could be lawsuit energy, whatever he has going on. Something may be favorable for him. Like something's favorable for him, because I just feel like he really didn't know what the fuck was going on. He really didn't know what the fuck was going on. He didn't know. How the fuck do I have a real gun in my hand? So somebody's handing him something that he really is thinking that it's a prop. Or it's like it is a prop, and there's like a real bullet. Something that's real is too real about it. Like, I feel like something was definitely done on purpose in regards to her, and him being handed something, him being handed a real gun, or there was a bullet in it, and something was in it that it charged off. But it's like somebody handed it to him. I don't feel like he went and got it, and somebody handed it to him and said, use this one and point it there, right? I don't know why they would use him to do. I don't know. People find strange ways to, they wanted it to look like an accident. Like they want it to look like an accident. Somebody wanted it to look like an accident, right? Someone wanted it to look like an accident so that they can keep getting some type of benefit that she tried to go to court for, to get that for herself. Or I get looked suspicious as when I said that, so that somebody won't look suspicious. So they're saying, okay, this is an accident, but it's like there's more. Like the gun was either real and someone gave it to him and said, use this one. Or someone's going on with them being stamped. Like they're like in a section where they're like stamped, like they have stickers on them, and someone's like, okay, this is the one you're going to use, this, that, and third. Somebody mixed it in. It's a lot going on there. He really doesn't have anything to do with, his pay and those kind of things are intertwined, his career is intertwined with the accident, yeah, but it's like I feel like for Swords, he really didn't know. But then somebody used him. I do just feel like someone was against him as well. Someone was also against him. Someone was against him as well. But I really feel like he didn't know what was going on. I feel like he really didn't know. The Queen of Wands energy and their confusion, Six of Pentacles. They could be the energy of these two women are white. I'm looking at the skin tone. The skin tone may not have anything to do with it, but these two women are white. This is a black woman that's on this card. She doesn't have to be black, but there's a black woman there. I don't know if there's a black woman that's an actress or they're in the industry. I get vouched for. Like a black woman that's in the industry may vouch for her. Or they may be vouching for her, or they were vouching for her. They're the public defender. So either they're in the industry or they're like a lawyer that she was, she may have been, she could have been trying to change lawyers as well. She could have been trying to change lawyers. Something shady was going on, compensation and tax-wise with a lawyer. Six of Pentacles, compensation. Six of Pentacles is up here in her headspace with these two people here. So this person may receive something as well too. They may get something, whoever they are. They may get some type of money. Damn. Right? I keep getting this idea of a stamp. I don't know if this is like a time stamp. Or like the guns, like they were stamped, like stamped as in, how to explain this? I don't know how they do on the movie set, like stamped as in, some of them were stamped, like some of them could have had stickers on them, like as indicators, so to know that, okay, this is the real one, this is the fake one, this is the, what's another situation? This one has this bullets in it, whatever it is. But I feel like he was handed one. I feel like he was handed one. Somebody handed him one. Right? I don't know. I feel like there was a real gun around. I feel like there was a real gun amongst fake ones. Like, that's what I'm feeling. And it's like it was in the section where prop guns are supposed to be, and someone is going about their way to hand him that one. I'm getting this idea that she needs to be arrested. Whichever she. There's like 3 women here. She needs to be arrested or investigated. That's why I was getting the idea of investigated. 3 of Swords with the 3 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. She needs to be investigated. That could be Alec Baldwin's voice. Somebody that was on the set. Like, someone that was on set needs to be investigated. Like a female. Like, there's 3 women here. One of these women. One of these women here. Someone needs to be investigated hardcore. But I'm getting this feeling of needing a benefit. So somebody needing to be investigated is that they need a benefit. Like, they need a benefit, or they needed a benefit. Someone may have been doing similar work to her on set, and they may have been thinking they weren't getting paid enough for their work. I don't know. Or they wanted her job, or they wanted to take over her position. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know if there was another cinematographer on there. Either a cameraman or a camera woman. Like, there's another person. I mean, there's tons of people that will be on set. So you can get, good angles. You can get different angles here. So I don't know if there's a camera woman. Someone could be a cameraman. They're embodying princess energy. Or it's 2 women. One woman is like... I'm looking at these occupations. One is the dance. I mean, that doesn't have to be the occupation. One is the dancer. Princess of Wands energy is a dancer. Then you have the public defender. That literally could be a woman that is on set that needs to defend herself. Or she's going to have to. That may be what she's doing now. Queen of Wands. And you have Princess of Wands, right? Princess of Wands, the dancer. So that could have been their role in the film. That could have been their role in the film, to do some type of movement like that. Or then you have the kindergarten teacher, someone that is like, I feel like she's embodying one of these energies here. And if she were to be embodying an energy, I would say she would be embodying this. I would say she would be embodying Princess of Deaths, or, she could be embodying a Queen of Wands as well, too. She's embodying one of these female energies, but I do also feel like there's women, one of these women on set, one of them is a woman on set that is responsible for a mishap, and to the point where they're handing him a real gun. Or it's like in the area where the props are, but it's actually real, if that makes any sense. Or something about it is real. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't see how you can have, I've never, of all the movies that will be made in history, I mean, and the amount of shooting scenes, your rational mind is like, the rational mind is not going to be like, because I've never heard anything like that ever in my life, where somebody's on set and all of a sudden they're just shot from, why would you be, it's supposed to be a prop. I've never heard anything as ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I've never heard anything like that before. I've never heard any craziness like that. So I feel like somebody intentionally either brought a gun and it was stamped, and they gave it to him, or they told him, okay, that's the one you're going to use, but he really doesn't know that it's real. Something crazy. It may look like the props, or he was just handed it. The 3 of Cups energy is in the changing position. So enjoyment is, ended up changing for her. She could have really enjoyed her work with Alec Baldwin. She could have been really enjoying her work as a cinematographer. She was enjoying her work. 3 of Cups. She was enjoying its abundance. Abundance is changing. Abundance is changing. Right? Abundance is changing. If she's embodying the kindergarten teacher, I do feel like she may have been teaching children as well too how to use a camera, how to do those things. That may have, I didn't want it to do. She may have wanted, she kind of gets, looking at her, she kind of has a teacher vibe. So she may have been teaching how to use the camera as well. She may have been teaching how to do that. Right? You know? Abundance, 3 of Cups. Abundance is changing. Her abundance is changing. Not her spiritual abundance. She'll always be spiritually abundant. But abundance may be going to someone else. You know? Unlawfully. What is happening here is unlawful. The resolution has the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords energy is in resolution going towards the Princess of Wands. So she could have been a Princess of Wands or a Queen of Wands or a Princess of Discs. I'm only using Princess of Discs if she's embodying. If she's embodying this as well. This is like she financially was strained, or there was a financial strange things happening around her financially, leading up to what happened. That's why the 10 of Swords is in the resolution, going towards the Princess of Wands. She could also be embodying Princess of Wands as someone who is her creative presence, the creative presence. I get that she's going to leave behind. Like she may leave behind a creative presence. She's leaving behind her creative presence. With abundance changing. 10 of Swords in the resolution. Princess of Wands, she could also be embodying, leaving behind creative presence. Or someone else around her may be leaving behind some type of creative presence. Right? Someone else around her could be leaving behind a creative presence. Because someone may get fired. But I get after they find out. So someone may get fired after they find out something. Or after they investigate more. After they investigate more, deeper, they're the truth. They're going to find out the truth. They're going to find out that somebody brought their, I forget, fingerprints. I'm looking at the Princess of Wands or the Queen of Wands, Princess of Discs, whichever. It's like somebody's fingerprints are going to get dusted. Or they're going to dust, the props. They're going to dust the props for fingerprints, or they need to dust the props for fingerprints. Or the specific one that he had in his hand needs to be dusted for multiple fingerprints. Because it wasn't only his fingerprints that were on it. It wasn't only his fingerprints that were on it. There's women here. They could also be men. I feel like it's heavy female. I get envious. There was an envious female that was in the mix. Her fingerprints were on it. Because she's responsible for handing it to him. She's responsible for handing it to him. I don't know if she herself, I don't feel that. I don't know if she herself, no. I'm not going to say, I'll say just to put it out there, I don't know if she herself picked up or was told that that's the one that he's going to use. I don't know. Something strange. Because I feel like they had stickers on them. Like the props had stickers. Or something's going on with time stamps. Like, you know how they do, like they roll a first part of a tape and there's one time stamp, then you have a second time stamp. Something could have been happening, something happened in between those time stamps. So he could have been practicing with, I had a real prop. He could have been practicing with a real prop at one point. Or for the first half of a time stamp, he could have been practicing with a real prop at one point. And then somebody went and changed and switched and whatever it is that somebody did. It's weird. Like, I feel like somebody, I keep getting this idea of switch. I'm looking at the Princess of Wands or the Queen of Wands, which I feel like somebody switched up something. Like they switch something. I don't know. Somebody switched up something. That's why there's confusion over here. They did mention that someone else got hurt as well too somehow. I feel like they said somebody else got hurt as well. Whatever it is that's going on with that other, I'm not picking up the energy of that other person, but I do feel like that other person may not know what happened, or I wasn't told everything. So the other person that they claim was also hurt, that was also on set, they weren't told everything, if that makes any sense. They weren't told everything in regards to her, Alec Baldwin. Interesting. Alright, but it definitely has to do, people really do some bullshit just to get some compensation. It doesn't make any sense to me. People do some really off the wall, irrational things just to get money. It's like, just to get compensation, just to not get sued. Why be in these patterns when you know what is to come, or when you know that people are gonna, you know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't really get it. Alright, let me look for an outcome on this situation. High Priestess again. Let me do another outcome. Two of Cups is there, and Knight of Cups. Alright, so the water sign, you got a Knight of Cups here. Knight of Cups could be the energy of her husband, using her intuition about her husband, or someone coming to her side. Knight of Cups will be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The only other water sign that I have here is the Three of Cups. So whatever abundant feeling that she was feeling with her husband, or Cups represent family, this energy, High Priestess, or energy of her family, somebody from her family coming into the rescue, that's changing. But she's using her intuition that, I see this energy of somebody being in on something. She could have been, somebody was in on something that was around her. It's Cups. It's a water sign. Whoever the water sign energy is embodying. I don't know if this is the energy. I don't know what her husband's sign is necessarily, or a friend, or I keep getting this idea of a co-star. It could be a co-star. One of Alec Baldwin's co-stars. There's a co-star. You have people that are working on the film, and then you have the actors. So co-star would resonate with someone that was co-starring with Alec Baldwin and whatever other actors that were on set. Using her intuition about a co-star, or something that a co-star did, or someone that a co-star asked someone to do. If that makes any sense, right? It's strange. Something that a co-star asked someone to do, something that a co-star saw, or family members saw, her husband, or did they know, with them, intuition with them coming in, High Priestess, Knight of Cups, a co-star running, coming to her aid, or a co-star, whatever it was, conversation with co-star. Questions a co-star may have been asking her. Let me do another outcome on that as well. Let me use this one. Let me do an outcome on the Knight of Cups. Seven of Swords, right? I get they have plans. A co-star may have had plans. Somebody had plans, or something. But Seven of Swords is making plans. Something was a plan here. This was planned. Somebody planned this. Somebody planned it. Either planned or planted. I'm getting the idea of plan. They planned, it was planned. So somebody coming in, whoever it was that was coming on set, could have been a co-star, could have been someone who was like a part of the production team. You know, they brought something. They had conversations with the. I just keep feeling like the whole entire thing was like a setup. It was planned on her like that. I mean, I haven't picked up any energy like that in a while, especially from like the other readings that I've done, like, you know, like years, months ago. But like when my spirit feels planned, I feel drawn to say that, yeah, it was planned. The Seven of Swords is making plans, or somebody or set up a plan with a gun. Would it being real? Would it having a bullet in it? Would it having stamps on it? Or somebody was like, you know, this is what we're gonna do. This is what's gonna go down on this time. We're gonna do these time stamps. And then within this time stamp, this is what's going to happen. Something like that. You know? Wow. Someone may get arrested though. Like, I do feel like there may be an arrest that may take place. I keep getting this idea after they dust. Like, they need to dust fingerprints. They need to dust for fingerprints, so they can find out the culprit. As I'm saying that, I'm looking at the Princess of Wands or Queen, like in the section where Princess of Wands and Queen of Wands energy is. The outcome has the energy of like either a partner or like a co-star or something, or someone that worked on a production team. Someone on the production team needs to be asked questions. Or someone's going to like fingerprints. Like, there needs to be fingerprints. Things need to be dusted for fingerprints. Okay. All right. So that was Halyna Hutchins reading. If you have questions, comments, or concerns about this case, you know where to find me. May her spirit go with peace. Amen. Take care. Bye.